Very good companies sometimes are the most vulnerable. When Bill Gates said that the moment you think you can't be beaten, you are, he was warning all of us. This from the wealthiest man in the world, having built this iconic company. But it's a warning for all of us, because that's when we stop listening, that's when we lose our edge, that's when we get complacent. So the first thing, if you're a successful company and want to continue being a successful company, that I suggest is get together a team whose job is to beat you. Sounds odd, but you become an expert in self-cannibalization. You have teams whose job it is to think like your competitor and say, how would I beat us? And do that not only overall, but for all your top products and services. In its glory days, that's what Gillette did. They came up with new razors to beat their own old ones before the competition did. In its glory days, Sony did the same thing with the Walkman. So that's item one. Get infatuated with beating yourself before the competition does. The second thing is that you have to look at yourself and look at the trend line. Many times we say, hey, we're doing really well. Our profitability is going up. Our costs are going down. Our productivity is up. But you have to compare yourself to the rest of the world, because we live in a market where we are compared not in the abstract, but there's an opportunity cost. When people do business with us, they can't do business with somebody else. So how is our relative share doing? That's something we've got to have an idea of. And how do we get that idea? Talk to some of the most leading edge customers you have. Talk to some of the most disgruntled customers you have. Talk to your suppliers, especially those who are redefining their own industry. Talk to some of your own perennially dissatisfied people. We all have people in a company who are loyal, but seem never to be happy with what the company is doing. Listen to what they're malcontent about for clues, and perhaps scan the competitive landscape for those competitors who might today be on the fringe, but may be coming up with tomorrow's disruptive technology. And study that. And on a regular basis, get your people to tell you each year, not only what should we start doing, but one or two things we should stop doing, because they make no sense, they're hangovers from the past, and they're keeping us from our potential. If we can do that, then the metabolism of self-renewal will outpace the forces that keep us stuck in the past. Jack Welch, the legendary leader of GE, said, when the rate of change outside a business is greater than the rate of change inside a business, the end is in sight. Here's a way to make sure that your sight is on the future, not on the end.